Greetings. Greetings, Force fans. I'm back in the armor. So look, it's been a while. Had to put it on. It's probably been a month since I dressed up. Since I played dress up. I like playing dress up, so I figured I would play dress up and sit here and talk to y'all about my favorite dress up, which is this 501st Clone Trooper armor. So if y'all have any questions about this armor, let me know. Yes, I did build it. Yes, it is expensive. Yes, I can make you one. Yes, it's even more expensive. Yes, it is 501st certified. I'm in the 501st Legion with this bad boy. Yeah, so I wanted to put it on because I was going to shoot some videos, little transition videos, but also because I've got an event coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend, South Alabama Comic-Con. So I wanted to get all suited up and make sure that everything is still working and fitting properly, because you want to do that before your events. Before all of your events, you want to get that done. His elbows are riding too high. Riding too high. 6'7". 6'7"? I don't know what that means, but I've got a young teenage daughter, so 6'7". Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. JT or JR and Friends Productions. I hope you're producing well. So yeah, this is a set of armor that I built probably 2 years ago, about 2 years ago. 501st certified. This is a kit that comes from a company called 850 Armor Works. They're friends of mine down in Pensacola. It's like 30 minutes from here. They make this armor, they make Stormtrooper armor, Mandalorian armor, they make all kinds of armor. You can check them out, 850armorworks.com. But yeah, I put this thing together. I built it, painted it, finished it all by myself. And yeah, they're expensive. This thing probably cost me about $1,500 to put together myself, which is, yeah, I get it. That shit is expensive. But when you want movie quality, film quality, I mean, this is accurate to Revenge of the Sith. And if you want the quality, you can sometimes have to pay for it. Also have this helmet, which is an easy swap out. And then you can be 332nd. Tommy, what's up? What is up? What is up? Yeah, so 2 different certified costumes, 4 if you go dual certification with Rebel Legion and 501st, with just a helmet and a back plate swap out, because the back plate's blue on this one, the back plate is white on the 332nd. So yeah, that's that. And stick around, because at the end of this live, I'm going to take all of this armor off, and I'll kind of show you guys how it is put together, how it's strapped, how it's harnessed, how it is held together. It's surprisingly not as much as you probably would think. This helmet is a resin cast helmet that I finished myself. This is from a gentleman named Chris the Prop Guy. He's out of Australia. Dude makes really good stuff. Can I see? Yes, I can see. But you've got like a limited field of vision, so when you've got it on, if I'm looking forward, I can't really see much below here. Perfectly fine, you know, with that. So if I'm wanting to, you know, walk someplace, I'm going to be looking down a little bit just to make sure I don't trip on stuff. But yeah, you can absolutely see with this on, just not super well. Also, there is a whole lot of movement. I can jump, I can run. It's just bending down is difficult because of the cod piece that is here. It kind of stops you from bending down. You got to spread your legs and do like that. But I mean, I can do jumping jacks. I've got a full range of movement in this. So, and it's not horribly uncomfortable. I've worn this outside in Pensacola in August for 2 hours for a baseball game. So, you know, it is possible. When I do troop, I've got fans, or a fan in here. It doesn't necessarily keep me cool, but it blows air on the visor, and it keeps the visor from fogging up. So that is that. But yeah, comfortable. But I can also put it all on by myself, which is kind of what I went for when I built this. You know, what's the use of playing dress up if you can't play dress up by yourself? So I went to build a suit that I could put on by myself, so I'm not always having to bother my wife to snap this or clip this. But yeah, that is how that went. For the Republic! Daywalker. Hello there. How bad is the armor? I don't understand that question, please. You might have mistyped something there at the end. Don't really get any pinching or anything like that. You know, again, really good movement. Gets a little hot. You know, I gotta admit it gets a little hot. You know, I'm typically a sweaty mess if I'm doing an outdoor event. But yeah, it's comfortable. You can see this armor in person, South Alabama Comic Con, into September in Mobile. I'll be there at the 501st table. So make sure to come by and visit us. Come by and visit us. Mr. Kitten, thank you. I do appreciate that. This is sick, man. It really is sick. But yeah, I did build this myself. Built, painted. This is a kit from a company called 850 Armor Works. For this, the helmet is from Chris the prop guy. Is there pitch points? I don't understand that question either. Sorry. Oh, pinch. No, I don't get pinched. Some of them do, you know, maybe a little bit around the knee here and the thigh. But no, it's not, it is not pinchy at all. It is not pinchy at all. Jeff and Friends Production. What? Yeah. Yeah. Cool fact. The first first Clone Trooper Legion armor was built by a costumer. Because all the suits in the movies were computer generated. Not until they started the Disney Plus shows did they build real armor for the shows. So the first set of armor was built by a 501st Legion person. Also, fun fact, the 501st Legion, the costume group, was around before the 501st Legion Vader's Fist, the group from the movies. So Timothy Zahn named Anakin's battalion the 501st in honor of the costume guys. So fun fact, which came first? Costumers. Costumers. Questions? You got questions? Let me know, man. Let me know. Oh, I have a feeling that that's some. I'm not going to say that because I feel like it's trying to get me to say something bad. So I'm not going to say it. Sorry. Banana. This shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A. Yes. I feel like that's something phonetic that's going to make me say something that I'm not trying to say. Or if it's a foreign language, I don't speak it. So I'm not going to say it. But thank you. Thank you for being here. Questions about this armor, again, let me know. I am going to be taking it off shortly, so you will see exactly what kind of goes into harnessing this and strapping it up. Harnessing and strapping it up. Let me give you guys one more view of the full armor before I start taking it off, because it is getting warm in here. And I got other better things to do on my day off. Fully functional. Yes, it does have some padding in it, and I will show you what I've got in here. It's not a lot, really. You know, the helmet is just a couple airsoft pads in there to keep it in place. Let's go ahead and get this thing taken apart so you guys can kind of see how this all goes together. So the gloves, these are Nomex flight gloves. You can find them on Amazon, and the armor piece is literally just Velcroed to the hand plate. Nomex flight gloves. I like the long gloves because that, you know, covers any skin that's going to be showing under there. You don't want wrist skin to be showing. So for padding, I use an upholstery foam in some of the pieces just to hold them in place, and that's all that holds the forearm in place is this upholstery foam. So I just put it on there and it stays where it's supposed to be. Very simple. Very simple, and that's with both of the forearms. Just a small little strip of upholstery foam in there does the trick. So the elbows, these have the armor strap on the outside, and then that's just a little piece of elastic that's in there that holds it in place. So that holds both elbows right where they need to be. Okay, when you get to the shoulders and the biceps, I'll get this off and I'll show it to you. So I've got a clip here that is attached to my neck seal, and then that clips in right here. The shoulder pad has a small piece of elastic to kind of keep it down, and then the bicep is just strapped to that and just hangs loose. So it's literally just sitting on there like that. So it looks right when it's in there, but there's, you know, same kind of thing, just a strap that's holding that up. Very simple. And there's not like a right or wrong way to do this. I do this very differently than a lot of other people, but this works for me again. And I like to be able to do a suit that I can put on all by myself. So that, to me, is an advantage. Again, same thing over here. Clip, strap, elastic. All right, when you get to the chest piece, this is probably the biggest difference in what I do, compared to how most people build a clone trooper armor. So the CRL, the costume requirement list, calls for simply a visible seam. Here, this is the only real visible seam in the armor. So most people make this a clamshell that opens and closes, and you Velcro it in there. I didn't feel the need to do that. Anytime you add Velcro or add something that opens, you're giving it another opportunity to kind of fail. So I just made mine all one piece, and it literally just slides on top. So this all sits and just rests right on my shoulders. It's not heavy at all. This is ABS plastic, so this is much, much lighter than something that's 3D printed. The only real heavy pieces in this armor are the rubber straps and the belt. The belt itself is probably as heavy as all the armor combined. So it's not extremely heavy. But yeah, that just literally just rests on top. All right, so, and again, the neck seal. This is from a company called Darth Closet. Clone neck seal, vertical ribbing. And then these, I literally just glued some elastic straps to this, and that's what the shoulder bells are attached on. That's how all the top is. This part, and I'll get to this later, this is just some suspenders I made with some nylon straps. A lot of people use suspenders, but suspenders are going to fail. That pulley elastic is going to fail eventually, so I just want my strapping. I'm going to strap it. So that's that. Let's get down to the legs, and I'll kind of show you where we're at. So again, before I can do any kind of bending over, I have to remove my cod piece. All right, so the cod, Velcro, Velcro, Velcro snap. So the Velcro attaches under the belt here. I've got corresponding Velcro on the abs, and then there's a snap here on that and Velcro underneath there, so it connects all in one piece. Again, the snaps are for a level 2 certification with the 501st Legion. And then the butt piece is the same. It's just Velcroed in back there, and it gives them a little bit more movement, a little bit more variety. So that's that. Now we get down to the legs, which are probably the most difficult part to put on. I'm going to pull like one of them off and kind of show you what we're dealing with here. All right, first are the shoes. So these are my Clone Trooper boots. These are from a company called Keep Trooping. And I love these things. These were expensive. These were about 150 bucks. This is a 501st Legion clone, just a standard 501st Legion clone. This guy right here. You'll have to go back to the beginning of the video to see it all on because I'm currently pulling it off. But these are the Clone Trooper boots. These were expensive, but again, these things have lasted me 2 years and they're in great condition. All this weathering is weathering that I did to it myself. So now we get to the shins, and really what is typically the problem with most people who are trying to build Clone Trooper armor are these shins. Oh, so if you're doing realistic Clone Trooper armor, you cannot have a seam in your shin. So it looks like that. It looks like this in real life. Problem is that hole is really too small to kind of get your leg through. Where you're contacting you. Whatever. So this is your shin spoon. So in order to do that, you have to create the shin spoon, which is a part that pops out of the shin. And then you got tabs that it clips into. A tab here, a tab there, and then a tab underneath as well. So that pops in, and then the whole thing appears to be seamless. And this is for most people, you know, and I probably worry about building this the most when I'm building my armor, but every time, and I built several sets of these. I've got 2 of my own, and then I built 4 commissioned custom ones for other people. Every time I get worried about the shin spoons, and every time they're pretty easy. The knees are just like the elbows. So it's got the rubber strap on the outside, and then you've got the elastic strap that holds that in. Chat service, whatever. Oh, all right, let me get the other leg off and then I'll show you the thighs, which are really the only part that are strapped on the bottom. The rest is just held in place with padding. So again, that same upholstery foam, I've got it around there, and that kind of holds that in place. The upholstery foam does the work. I use EVA foam to pad some stuff and upholstery foam to pad other stuff, just depending on what the stuff is. So that, again, comes all out. Knee, same thing. Knee is a little piece of elastic. Elastic. All right. And then the thighs. So the thighs are the only thing that are strapped on. And I've got a belt. A belt that holds them up, and they're just strapped like so. So this is the only thing on the bottom that is held up. Held in place. Don't tread on me. Hello. JR and Friends Productions, again, I appreciate that. So this, the belt, the butt, and the abs are all one solid piece. Call it the clone diaper. Again, the butt is Velcroed in there. You can see the Velcro strips, boom, boom, boom. Just holds it in. Or the butt. The belt is glued to the abs, and the abs are all one piece. That's it, y'all. That's how you do it. Then I'm down to my clone undies. And don't nobody want to see that. All right, y'all. I hope you appreciated this. If you did, give me a like. I do appreciate that. Give me a comment. Come back and rewatch. Whatever y'all want to do. Anyway, y'all, I'm Darth Rage. This is Darth Rage Reviews, your source for the Force.